What's happening, people, and welcome to episode 23 of the Rambling Dad podcast. And today I am joined by Arnold Allen. What's happening, dude? How's it going?
Good, mate. Good, yeah, I don't know. I feel like I look more tired than I am. I've been up for a couple of hours now.
Right, okay. Did you manage to watch many of the fights, or?
Yeah, I watched Volk just now.
Oh, sweet. Good. Fucking thank God for that, because I thought, am I going to have to spoil this fight for this man or something this morning?
No. I'd never miss the... even when I try to avoid it, you
I'm
not good at not watching.
Yeah, that's it. You go on Twitter, you go on Instagram, anything, and it's already there in your face, isn't it?
Literally, the first thing when I opened my phone this morning was him with his hand raised. So,
so we know how that went. You know what I mean? Right. Anyway, first question off the bat, mate. How's the cat? The most important one of all.
Yeah, she's good. She's around here somewhere.
Yeah, I've got my dog next to me panting like Rolf Harris, mate. I mean, he's dying to get out. So, you're in Canada at the moment. Obviously, we spoke recently on Instagram, and we've actually got that in common. So you've got a Canadian missus. I've got a Canadian missus. How did you guys meet? How did that happen?
It's a pretty boring story, really. So I was training at the gym. One of my good friend and teammates, he does like PTs at the gym and stuff, and he was doing PTs for this girl, and she's like, "Oh, you should come on a date with my sister." And I was just like, "Yeah, okay, sounds good."
Cool beans.
And then just went on like a triple date with my mate, her sister, and my now missus.
No, fantastic. So was that in England or was that in Canada? Like, were you already over there?
Yeah, that was over here.
Right, okay, wicked. So you'd already just gone over, started training there, and then that was it. Just got invited along. Fantastic. Mate.
Yeah.
Mine's a bit more long-winded than that. I went on 19 years old. Went on the first lads' holiday. Bumped into my missus on the second night. 13 years later, here we are. Kid, house, dog, all the rest of it. Yeah, I mean, so she lived in Scotland. I was in England at the time. We'd done the long distance thing for about a year. She was at uni. I was just working. So eventually I just packed my job in and then moved up there on my own. And like I say, the rest is fucking history. So, how are you finding it in Canada? Well, I've visited 2012, 2014, 2017. I've just been again last year as well to take my daughter over after she was born. But how are you finding it? We were in Winnipeg, Manitoba, so you're a bit further across from there, like. But how do you like Canada?
Yeah, it's nice with that. I like all the scenery, the countryside. I'm not big on being in the city, so
I'm the same, mate. It's horrible.
Yeah, it's people in the city are crazy. Everyone's in a rush.
That's it, innit? It's just so fast paced and that. Like, I was down in London a couple of weekends ago to go see Tenacious D at the O2. And you get into London, man, and you're just like, Jesus Christ, everybody's just flying around you and see people with kids that live there. I don't know how they fucking do it, mate. I'm standing there with hats off to you. I'm struggling to get myself around the city, never mind dragging a toddler around at the same time.
I'm the same way. Bad enough for the cat.
No, yeah, exactly. How did you even get the cat over there, mate? So obviously, like, you went and had your fight with Max. We'll get into that. I'm not going to go into it too much because obviously you probably spoke the life out of it. But how did you get the cat over there? How does that all go about?
So I think I don't know. It was all my missus really, but I think it's Air Canada or something. They're pretty good with traveling with pets.
Right. Okay.
And then so when my missus was in England, we were back in England for a couple of years, and I fought Calvin. When I went to fight Calvin, she's like, "Oh, I'm going to be at home on my own for like nearly 2 weeks. I need a friend." And I'm just like, "Damn."
That's it. Roped in, got a cat.
She's like, "I've connected with this cat." And I'm like, "Okay."
That's it. Once the connection's made, there's no breaking it then, is there?
Yeah. I was like, "Yeah, I haven't even seen it yet. It's just a photo." She's like,
obviously, you're a dog dude, same as me. I mean, I've got a little Staffy down there. So how are you bonding with the cat? Because I fucking hate cats, if I'm honest with you, mate.
I never wanted one, but she is funny. It's
growing on you.
Yeah, no, definitely. She's fun to play with. It's vicious though.
Oh, they are, mate.
She took where's the camera? I don't know if you can see, she took a chunk out of my finger there.
Oh, yeah, I can see that there a little bit. So I don't think you'd actually be able to see it on me. So I had a new neighbour move in about 6 months ago. And when you first move in with a new cat, they say you shouldn't let them out for a good few months. You should let it out for the first time. We're like a row of semi-detached houses. So each one of them, new builds as well. So they're all like laid out exactly the fucking same. So this cat kept coming into my garden. I ended up in my house one morning when I was at work. My missus is texting me, "How do I get this cat out of the house? The dog's going fucking mental. He's walking around." And one morning the woman knocks on the door and she says, "Oh, my cat's in your garden. Can you get it for me?" I was like, "Yeah, cool, no worries." Went out into the garden, seen the cat, forgot my back door key. My daughter's leaning on the back door. The dog's at the back door. I'm like, I can't get back in the house to get the fucking key. What am I going to do here? And so I shouted over the fence. So I was like, "Is the cat sound? Can I pick him up?" And she was like, yeah, it'll be fine. I was like, cool. Pick the cat up, mate. Fucking bang. Claws went in. This was about 3 months ago now. I've still got a scar on my wrist there. And I've got 3 of them on my fucking arm. So eventually I was like, right, I'm just going to have to scoop this cat up and run to the front door. So I scooped the cat up, smashed through the back door, ran to the front door, opened it up, handed this cat over to the woman. I had blood just pissing down my hands. And she was like, "Oh, I'm sorry." I'm like, "Just take your cat and fuck off."
Yeah.
I was like, no way, mate, as if that's just happened.
They're brutal.
Oh,
she straps around like she's innocent, and then she'll sit there all sweet and that. You rub her belly. She's like,
that's it. So that's what somebody said to me. "Did you touch the cat's belly?" And I was like, yeah, probably when I picked it up, because apparently they do not fucking like it at all, and that's when they actually they will scratch you and stuff. So I don't know what that is. It's a bit of a mad thing, innit? So how are you planning on staying in Canada now then? You just staying out there for a while?
Yeah, never really plan anything, to be honest. We just kind of go with the flow of things and
just wing it.
Yeah, literally, that's just winging everything, like the whole life.
We've got that in common, mate. That's what I do all the fucking time. Everything's absolutely winged. So, would you be able to get citizenship over there? Obviously, if you got married and stuff like that, would you need to take that route to be able to do it? Or
yeah, I think so. But like, I don't know. Apparently, you have to pledge allegiance to the king. I didn't know that.
Oh, well, you're British, mate. You've already fucking done that from birth. Get down on your knees, mate.
I was speaking to Joe Duffy yesterday. I see him, and he was telling me, because he lives here as well, and he's like, "You had to pledge allegiance to the king." So he's like, fuck that.
Yeah, fuck that. That's wild, isn't it? It's fucking mental. Pledge allegiance to the king.
I get it. He's Irish. I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, well, depends on which side of Ireland he falls. Yeah, I mean, if he's going to pledge allegiance or not, fucking hell. I come from an Irish family myself, so that's some history you don't really want to get into too much, is it? So, right, mate,
I don't even want to pledge allegiance to the king.
No, mate, neither do I. That's why I moved to Scotland. You know what I mean? Fucking voted for Scottish independence and everything. I was like, can we get away from these bastards, or what's happening here? So let's just get stuck into a little bit about, obviously, MMA and your martial arts career. So like, when did it all start for you? Where did you decide, right, I'm gonna pursue a career in martial arts? And like, how did you get started in the sport? Was it just like watching fucking Bruce Lee videos as a kid and thinking, fuck yeah?
Pretty much.
Yeah, mate.
Pretty much. Yeah, so I was boxing as an amateur when I was like 13, 14. And like before that, watching old kickboxer films and you know, like you say, literally watching the old Bruce Lee stuff and all that shit. That's it. And yeah, my dad had a few MMA fights when I was boxing, and I weren't really interested in all the sort of the stereotypical rolling around on the ground sort of stuff. I was like, I don't want to do that. Looks so funny, especially seeing your dad do it. I was just like, not for me.
Especially at that age in the UK as well, being in high school, it'll come with a little bit of some stereotypes. I mean, get some bit of bullying for that kind of shit. Like,
on boxing, I was like, that's it. Fuck all that. I'm going boxing. And but then he had all the old sort of videos at home, like all the original UFCs, and we'd always watch them. He'd buy the pay-per-view, whatever, we'd watch them like the next day or something. And just over time, it sort of grew on me, and I was like, you know what, I wouldn't mind giving it a go. First off, I started with a bit of Muay Thai and throwing elbows and knees and kicks and that. And then I was like, you know what, they're doing a grappling class as well. I might as well try it.
Jump in and give it a go.
Yeah, I didn't really. I got submitted by like everyone. I got subbed about 50 times. And,
that's how it goes.
It pissed me off getting subbed so much. So I was like, I want to get better at this. So even though I don't like it, I want to get better at it because I don't like that.
It's crazy, isn't it? So I started Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu a couple of years ago. Let's say a couple of years ago, just before COVID. Then obviously it all got fucking shut down. What a humbling experience it is, man. You walk in there and you think, I'll be all right. I'll be able to roll with some people. Nah, once somebody's got top pressure on you, you've got you pinned down, and you've got, like, even as a white belt, you've got a blue belt wrapping you up and just putting you in arm bars left, right, and center, and you don't know what's going on. You're like, nah, I don't like this.
That's it.
And you're sitting going, I need to get fucking better at this. How do I stop this man from choking me out in my own pajamas or something there? What is going on? You know what I mean? So,
nice feeling.
Nah, not at all. I also done like Japanese jiu-jitsu, like traditional jiu-jitsu
Oh,
when I was
okay.
younger. But we started
Yeah.
that when I was like 4 or 5 or something, and I was the same. So what you could do there was they had VHSs all on like the
Mm.
shelf along the side, and you could literally take one, go and watch it, bring it back, and you could take another. You can only take one at a time, but
Yeah,
same. They had
sure.
all the Bruce Lee shit, all the UFC, absolutely everything. So I'd take a VHS home every day, put it in, sit there and watch the life out of it, and then come
That's
back.
it. That's the
Right.
one.
I even I was in a competition when I was younger. I got disqualified from what because I watched Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and somebody had done a roundhouse kick into the side of this dude. Well, on a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, caught his leg, and he done like this spinning heel hook kick. There's me, fucking 12 years old, got my leg caught from a roundhouse kick, and thought, fuck it. Hands went to the deck, span round, heel hook to this dude, and got disqualified because I cracked him straight in the jaw. I was like, oops.
Yeah, yeah, that's
um,
brilliant.
Mate, it's mad like the journey that it can take you on, the experiences that you can have. So how do you go about preparing for each fight? Like I know some people take it like individually, so they'll look at the fight or they'll break them down, they'll look at the tapes. Some people are just like, nah, I just train and I'm just ready for fighting. So what type of approach do you take with it?
Yeah, usually that kind of approach, I'll just focus on myself and worry about what I'm doing, try and be as fit as I can, be as sharp as I can, and
Yeah,
but maybe after that last one, I'll probably I take a different approach and maybe study a fight. I was saying that because if I watched Max Holloway fight, I would just still fought how I fought because I expected him to pressure, and I didn't expect him to sort of
yeah,
dance around and sort of counter as much as he did.
mm-hmm.
I expected him to march forward and throw a million shots, which he didn't
Push the
really.
pace. Uh-huh.
Yeah, so I mean, if I did study opponent and watch it more, I probably would have still done the wrong thing. You know
Well,
what I mean?
mate, I don't know if you've done the wrong thing. Like, I reached out after the fight and I said to you it was an absolutely fucking tremendous performance, man. And I feel like a lot of people feel that the same. And obviously, I mean, that's a couple of questions down that I've got there as well about your mindset towards that as well. But you kind of looked at it in a bit of a like not like a bit of a negative way about yourself. You know what I mean? You thought, oh, I could have done better here. I could have pushed the pace, but I wouldn't say negative. More of a an objective or like a way that you can analyze it and break it down for yourself and see what you could have done a little bit better. You know what I mean? So, what is your training schedule look like for that? So, like for Sunday to Monday, you've got certain days you do certain things, or
Yeah, um, so yeah, for that camp it was so Wednesday and Saturday I was sparring, and then it was a lot of striking pad work. I was doing a lot of striking work when I was back in England for that. Like 4 times a week, it was like twice Muay Thai, twice boxing, and all sort of going over the strategies and everything
yeah.
else was like I didn't really wrestle much in that camp to be honest. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, you wouldn't expect much wrestling to come from Max Holloway, would you? So it's probably not an
Mm.
area that you would focus on, is it? So, what would be your favorite area to train in MMA? Would it be striking? Would it be any wrestling or anything like that?
Um, no, I don't know. I like the whole thing. Yeah, I like everything really.
Just
Striking,
combined.
obviously, but the MMA sparring really. Just when you're doing everything, when you're combining everything, and that's probably my favorite bit.
Just all over. Can't complain with that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So, if you were to be self-critical, what area do you think you've got the room for most improvement and opportunities?
Um, my MMA game, like my overall, I feel all the skills are good, like individually,
Mm-hmm.
but like using all of it. I think that's one of the things like Volkanovski does so well. Like, even just seeing this fight this morning is like he didn't he struck with yeah, he stood with
Yeah.
him and
Uh huh.
but then also thrown in that option to wrestle as well. So
Yeah. Do
didn't
you
didn't
think
let
that comes
yeah,
off? Sorry, it comes off the back of the Islam fight because the way he took him down in some of those rounds last night was absolutely insane. And obviously he's an ex-rugby player, so the dude's got some fucking force in his
yeah,
shoulders. But it's insane. The pace that he put onto him last night was absolutely incredible. Um,
yeah. I thought that's kind of how I thought it would probably have some hairier moments in that, but like yeah, I thought that's what it do. High pressure, score some takedowns, mix it
yeah.
up, and yeah, he looked great. He looked
I mean,
great.
I thought he was brilliant with his range as well. I mean, he was got light on his toes, kept away from his kicks. Yeah, coming with some fucking wild stuff as he always
Yeah.
does. You know what I mean? So, like just going back to the Max Holloway stuff. Obviously, in your interview with Ariel, you said that you potentially broke your hand and you got an X-ray on it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
how's that going? What happened with it?
So it wasn't broken, but it's it's like a ongoing thing now. It's annoying. So when I fought Sadiq Yusuf, I broke my left hand in two places. I think it was three places. One, two, and then there was a third in the middle.
Right,
Two
okay.
breaks. And ever since then, it's like pain in the ass each time. So it's I've sprained it. Or I don't know, torn the ligament. I don't know. The physio doctor
Something.
said something. It hurts. But he said whatever it is it takes longer than it would heal if it was broken because you have to do the rehab and
Right, okay.
do the physical therapy. And every
Yeah.
other week I'm going back to see him and do little strengthening things. And
Uh-huh.
I have been doing like some one-handed sparring this week because I was going insane watching everyone. So
Yeah.
yeah. So
have you just been like resting it for a little while now, then not trying to use it too much? Yeah.
Yeah. So I just been kind of jabbing, kicking, and trying to
Right,
wrestle.
okay.
That's it.
The one-arm
And
bandit.
yeah, I'm being a bit selective with who I'm sparring with, like being a bit safer. But yeah, it's a pain in the ass because you just want to get the ball rolling again, get back on it, and try and pick up some steam. But it is what it is.
No, that's it, mate. Yeah, I mean, you just got to take your time with it. You've got plenty of years ahead of you anyway. How old are you now? 27, 28?
29.
29, mate. Jesus Christ. Sorry, I'm fucking well off you. I mean, I've still got 3 years on you though, dude. Don't worry about it.
I wish so. People keep saying that you're 26, 27. I was like, I fucking wish.
It's that baby face, mate. It's that Cage Warriors suite the other day, and they put you and Paddy up, the two of you, mate. I was like, fucking hell, look about 12 years old in that picture, don't they? I was like, no way is that like, was that professional debut in that fight, or was that?
No, that was
just Cage Warriors debut.
Cage Warriors debut. I think it was my fourth fight. Yeah, fourth fight. Yeah.
Right. Okay. You had the three before you, so you got 3 professional fights under your belt, and then invited to Cage Warriors, was it?
Yeah, that's it.
Right, okay, sweet. So in that interview with Ariel as well, you also mentioned, like we spoke about a minute ago, so you were a bit disappointed in yourself for not going after the fight sooner with Max Holloway. Like I say, I know you spoke about this because I've watched some of your interviews with a lot of people, so I'm not going to go in too much into it and get you to repeat yourself, mate, because I can imagine that's probably one of the most annoying fucking things for a fighter, jumping into an interview and talking about the same shit all the time. So obviously some time's passed since that fight now. Has your mindset changed about your own performance at all? Because like I say, obviously you're a bit disappointed in yourself. But now that you've had a bit of time to review it, you've had a bit of time to think about the fight and process it all. And like I say, a lot of us thought you give one hell of an account for yourself, mate. It was honestly a fucking brilliant fight. It could have gone either way. And like you say, if you push that pace a little bit more in the earlier rounds, I say, you've had a bit of time now. Has your mindset changed towards your performance at all?
No, not really. Just the only thing is just a few things let me down, and all me, like physical, my body just without making excuses. Like I know I could do better. Yeah. That's it.
Do you feel like the walking, like, mate, I could not believe you got booed. I was sitting on the couch and I'm like, how the fuck are they booing this man? You know what I mean? You're like one of the nicest dudes in the MMA space going. You fucking, YouTube's absolutely phenomenal. And you're walking into a crowd and obviously you're coming up against a big, massive fan favourite in Max Holloway. But I still didn't expect everybody to be booing you and you come walking in. I was just like, this is fucking shit. What is going on here?
It didn't bother me. I thought it was, I even though he's only like 2 years older than me, I sort of come up watching Max, and I was like, I respect what he's done and like his work, so it's like, yeah, fair enough. But the worst thing about it was, so when they were announcing the names, the ref was stood. Jason Herzog, he was stood closer to me, and like Bruce Buffer says, and the referee, blah blah blah. He said his name. He like announced the ref's name, and he got a cheer. The ref, Jason, he got a cheer, and I looked at him. I was like, "The fuck?" He looked at me. He just shrugged. Like, I
don't fucking know. I don't fucking control them yet. I mean, I thought it was decent of Max at the end of it as well, to be like, right, come on, guys, fucking cheer this man. You know what I mean? Don't be booing him. Right? Don't be a dickhead. Pretty much, it was funny. Like,
that was right. Oh yeah, I was looking at the ref, just thinking, they fucking cheered you.
And I'm the one fucking fighting. That's fucking mental, isn't it? So obviously, was that your first 5-rounder like throughout your career? Or do you train 5 rounds or?
Yeah, we trained 5 rounds. It's I mean, it's the first time I've gone 5 rounds. Yeah,
Right. Okay.
yeah, but no, yeah, no issue. You know, Max is he's a cardio king, and he's so
Yeah.
it was no yeah, I didn't feel any problems. Like people have said that before, because I've had issues in other fights where I've fatigues and stuff.
Right. Okay.
I'm like, oh, he's got no cardio for 5 rounds and stuff. I'm like,
Nah,
it's had a
fucking
bad
watch me.
day, man.
Yeah. I mean, you go out running a lot. So did you do a lot of like cardio conditioning whilst you were building up to that fight, or did you just do the normal what you do normally? Did you focus
Yeah,
on it
normal
anymore,
shit. I was
knowing?
probably I've been way fitter for 3 round fights, to be honest. So it was just a mental thing, to be honest.
Yeah, just to push through. I mean, you didn't look like you were fatigued at any point in that fight. Did you feel it at all in any of the rounds? Did you think, right, I need to pull my finger out here and just sort it out a
Yeah,
little bit?
I didn't
Or
feel fatigued, but I did feel like I have to do something a bit more.
yeah, and obviously going into that fifth round, the fucking World War Three comment, that's going to go down in history, that, mate. That was, you know what I mean, Dan Hooker, yeah, I mean, World War Three, let's fucking go. That was absolutely
Yeah,
incredible. Just getting that little piece, you know what I mean, because it was just you showing you and who you are and the humour inside that you've got, you know what I mean, and I thought that was fucking brilliant when you came out with that comment. And then you went out there and done what you did with Dan Hooker and just went absolutely fucking swinging, you know what I
yeah.
mean, just trying to get the job done. A lot of people said you got flashed. Oh, dropped almost. I don't think he did, mate. I mean, I think he caught you like it was probably was a little like, oh, fucking hell, flash, but I don't think it was
Yeah.
a wobble or anything that you were worried about. Yeah, I mean, but no,
No, no,
absolutely.
no. It wasn't. No, I wasn't buzzed at all. Like as soon as it happened, obviously the bell went just there. It was like there was no like ringing or buzzing or whatever.
Yeah.
There was no. It was like 100% hear it. I remember everything happened. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I've been
So,
buzzed in training before, and it's been a lot worse than that, and
yeah.
not been down.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. So, how hard does he actually hit then? Because we all know he's like a fucking 70-80% shot volume kind of striker. You know what I mean? He'll just pepper your face to death until he gets the job done. But how hard is Max Holloway actually punch? Like, how does it feel like when he proper connects?
Yeah, no, he doesn't punch that hard. He's just not. He doesn't like set his feet to throw a big power. Really, just like
Mm-hmm.
you say, he's consistent. But what did he has like a weird timing. No, that's the weird thing about it. His timing is it's almost like it's off. The timing is off. Like it's
Right.
not.
Okay.
It's not like a 1-2. It's sort of it's like a 1.5. You know what I mean? Like the two lands were in the middle of
Yeah.
it. That's the weird thing. But his rhythm is weird. His timing is weird. It's
Did you find that put
yeah.
you off at all if you tried to step in for something? Did he just catch you out of nowhere that you weren't expecting it? Or
Yeah, a little bit like that, yeah. And it's obviously obviously he's very good. I'm not saying this is a bad comparison, but sometimes you go with like you train with a beginner and their timing and their reads are all sort of not I mean, yeah, their timing and reads are off, so it kind of feels strange.
uh huh,
And sometimes you go to like I say a good boxing gym and the guy is like elite boxer. Everything they do is like precise and proper.
yeah,
It's easier to read sometimes because it's as you would expect, sort of thing.
yeah. I
Yeah.
suppose if you know the drills and the techniques yourself, and you know what he's coming at you with, and if he keeps repeating it, then you can read it, can't you? You know what I mean, but
Yeah, that's it.
obviously coming against Max, how did you find the range of him? Obviously, he wasn't really pushing it, so. Did you
Mm.
find he was keeping himself back that little bit more and just trying to counter strike you? Where obviously that's kind of how you normally go as well. You like to push the pace, but most of the time you like to have a little counter strike there.
Yeah, yeah, that was the thing. We sort of everything was in sort of anticipation of him coming at us. Like
Hmm.
a lot of it was all circling off and countering, and next thing I know, I'm running after
Yeah.
him.
Like, this wasn't the fucking game plan. What's going on?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hang on a minute, what's happening here?
So is it just the Vault fight you've caught up on from last night? Then you seen any of the others?
I see Rob Whittaker and Drickus Duplessis.
Yeah.
I didn't see the co-main event. And
Right. Okay. That was a banger. To be fair, a very
was
very
it?
close
Yeah,
fight as well.
I'll
Not to
watch
ruin
it later
anything,
on.
mate. I'll let you go and watch that one
Yeah,
yourself. But
no, I know who won. I know
right.
the
Okay.
results. I see Bo Nickel. He won quick, didn't he?
Yeah.
Lawler, obviously.
Yeah,
Um,
mate, Waller beat the shit out of fucking Nico Price. I
yeah,
wasn't
yeah,
expecting that. Even Nico was the favourite, I'm sure, in the betting odds. Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I'm not a
I
massive
actually
better, but
I
go on.
thought Nico was going to win it. To be honest, just where it's like you know it's your last fight. You sort of already you already said it. Like, yep, I'm done. This is
Mm-hmm.
it. It's sort of sometimes don't come in with the same sort of attitude, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, he came
Oh,
in to kill.
yeah, he did, didn't he? I mean, he came in with a fuck it, this was the last one, let's go out with a bang.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I was thinking when he was
Mm.
walking in, I was like, that must be pretty emotional for a man that's had a career like Robbie Lawler
Mm.
to be walking, making that final walk, knowing, you know what I mean? Because it's not like oh, I might do it after this fight, like some people decide, depending on how the fight goes, right, I'm setting my gloves down, I'm done here, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
he already announced it, he already knew, so walking in, he might have even given, like you say, that moment of clarity where he walks in and going, do you know what? I've had a wicked career. This is the last one. Let's just go out with a big fucking hurrah. You know what I mean? But no, great performance for him. Like just grabbed him in there in the clinch a little bit, started fucking him up with the uppercuts, and just absolutely smashed him. And he just dropped. It was unreal. So like I say, the Brandon Moreno Pantoja fight, mate, definitely go back and have that one to watch because that was absolutely phenomenal. Dricus Duplessis, what did you make? What did you make of his performance?
Yeah, you know, I was surprised. Obviously, it was that just stiff jab on it, and
Yeah.
yeah, I thought Whitaker was going to win that one, but yeah, Dricus is surging, and he's very confident, and
Mm-hmm. And
so
did you see Izzy coming into the octagon after it?
Yeah, I did.
Mate, he just went fucking nuts, didn't he? I was sitting on the couch to begin with. I was like, woo! And then after a couple of minutes, I was like, right, got a bit OTT here now. Is he going to calm down, mate? Jesus Christ.
But yeah, I think it's a good fight. I think it's a good fight. Why not? I think Dricus could win it. He could definitely win it.
Oh, if he catches him, I mean, you've seen him get caught by Pereira and other people in the past as well. So he definitely can. He's got the power and everything there. But go on, what are you going to say there?
But yeah, he's a more of a he's kind of like that. He's striking. It doesn't look like very like super orthodox and like fundamental. You know, he's a bit rigid. His timing looks a bit off. But you know, Whitaker's a moves great, good operator, and he landed that stiff jab on him. It weren't like a lucky jab, was it? It was a nice, well timed.
Oh no, yeah, it was nice, wasn't it?
Bit down the pipe. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, any chat and any next fight for you? Anything like that? Obviously, getting into last night's as well, we had Volk. Yeah, obviously Volk took it, phenomenal performance as we've already spoken about. So, what do you think could be next for you? Would you take Yair Rodriguez? Would you look at Ortega? Any of those interest you?
Yeah, definitely. All those guys, you know, get a win over any of those guys, you're back in the mix, really, aren't you? Like, you're back out there. So.
That's all you really need, isn't it? One more win and bang, you right back in there for a title contendership again. So,
but it's a funny one, isn't it? Because obviously, Yair just fought for the title last night. Max is, I think you lost 3 to Volkanovski.
Yeah,
Max is like, you know, he's beat everyone else outside of me. Obviously, he beat Yair, he beat Ortega, he beat other guys. You know, he's right there, but it's like he's not going to get a title.
I know,
he's not going to get a title shot over a win over a Korean Zombie. I don't think.
Not at all.
Ilya's right there.
Yeah,
obviously they're lining that up, but yeah, I don't know. See what happens. Cause I wouldn't be surprised if what's his name, but Volkanovski goes to fight Islam again.
I 100% think that's what's going to happen before he comes back down and tries to defend it at featherweight again. And I also feel like he's probably just going to try and beat Aldo's record, you know what I mean? Get the 8 fights or 9 fight defenses and then maybe even ride off into the sunset and see what he can do.
How many does he have?
At the moment, 6, I believe. I think that's what I seen last
night. Against Max.
Yeah, which is wild, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, yeah, sorry, it's 2 of them because one of them he took it from Max, didn't he? Yeah, I mean, but I thought the first 2 fights against Max and Volk were pretty fucking close. Yeah, I mean, with that third one,
I gave at least one of the 2 to Max.
Yeah, and that was usual MMA judging. Obviously, you've got mostly finishes within your career, but what do you make of the judging situation? What do you think they could do differently about it? Because obviously, it's wild at times, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a hard one. It's a real like thankless job, isn't it? It's like being a ref. It's you only ever get not praise, but you only ever get like mentioned when you do a bad job. Like no one ever sort of mentions your good work and stuff like that. And same with the judges. If it's as everyone expects, then they don't say good work at judging.
No, not at all.
But yeah, there is some bad calls, but then there's some judges I really respect, and sometimes I see their scorecards after a fight, and I'm a bit like, huh. But then I like really. But the same thing. There's, obviously you go to the gym. Say Monday, you go to the gym. There's a big fight Saturday. There's some of my teammates, and we'll disagree on fights. So it's like, I respect their opinion on fights, and they're very good. But also, I don't know, just like we all differ opinions, right?
That's it, mate. Yeah, I mean, and that's what's wild about Twitter as well. Like half the people on there, you can't even have a normal conversation with, oh yeah, well, I thought this about the fight, and they're like, well, I thought this about the fight, and it just becomes an insult fucking slanging match, doesn't it? And everyone just starts going mental. So it's always good to be able to sit down and actually have a conversation with someone where you can accept each other's opinions and viewpoints of why you think they got that way. Yeah, I mean, so judging's a bit mad at times, and obviously from an outsider's point of view, like, I don't know what fucking goes into it. I've not had any training in judging or anything yet. I mean, I don't know what type of thing. Like, you know the scoring criteria obviously going into it, but how it looks sitting cage side, people say, oh, maybe they should be in a room, headphones on, no sound, viewing it from whatever they're doing. There's just a million different ways that maybe if they try it, we can see what happens. You know what I mean? Or is it because I think a lot of them come from a boxing background as well, don't they? The judges, before they're coming in and judging on MMA, so it's a complete different sport as well for a scoring perspective. Like so.
There's so many factors, and there's always like, but and sometimes you see a card and like, I don't know, say there's a fight on the prelims, they score it one way due to the way the criteria is, and then I don't know, say 4 or 5 fights later, they'll be basically the same fight, but they'll score it another way.
Yeah,
and it's like it doesn't make sense. So
on the same fucking card as well. I mean, it's just like, where's the consistency?
And it's hard to. Because people are like, some people try and fight to the criteria to score like the way it is, like, certain positions and control time, all those things. It's really just got to try and win every minute and finish if you can.
Yeah. What do you think about the control time piece? Because obviously, like, even there was times last night where obviously you've not watched the fight yet, but Brandon Moreno and Pantoja, where they would be on the ground but nothing was happening. They were just kind of holding each other, especially like well, obviously I don't want to ruin anything for you, but there was times that was kind of happening, and then you see it in other fights as well where they just like Islam and Volk as well. Volk was putting the damage on him even when Islam was on the top. You know what I mean? It was like, how can you score that for control time and obviously somebody else is getting the damage that's not in the better position? Like, it's a wild thing.
It's a weird one. I don't know how they rate the submission, because obviously if you've got like full back control, hooks in and all that, and like seatbelt around you've got you're locked in. That's a pretty dangerous position. It's like, it's pretty as close as you can be to finishing the fight, isn't it? Arm around the neck, trying to work for a choker sort of thing. So, but do they score a couple of digs to the head like that a bit more? I don't know. It's I think it all depends how they're feeling in the moment, I guess. I don't know.
Well, that's where it always goes back to the criteria, though. And if damage comes first, even in that position, should you then reapply the criteria on top of being in that position, and the damage still comes first as they break that down and go from wherever they go? So, so we said Volk or Yair, well, obviously not Volk, but Yair or Ortega, sorry. So what about a rematch against Max in the future? Would you be interested in that? Try and get that one back, see what you can do differently, maybe push it a little bit quicker.
Yeah, definitely. No, there's not even like strategy, game plan wise, just just different things. Yeah,
just to get it back.
Yeah, that's it. I know I could do that.
I'd love to see it again, mate, because like I say, it was a lot closer than I think you give yourself credit for, to be honest with you. So
yeah, no, a lot of people say, but it's to say with the judging and fans or whatnot, so it's got a lot of support and stuff like that. And if it was a close fight, all the comments are like, no, it wasn't close, this guy killed him, blah blah blah. So when you mentioned like judging, because I did it, I said I thought Volkanovski won against Islam. I tweeted it. I said I had Volk winning that.
Yeah,
and I got a load of guys calling me a racist. And
it's wild, isn't it? Like, people just go to random conclusions out of fucking nowhere on Twitter when you say this kind of stuff. But
that's it. Someone said to me, watch it again, but imagine Islam's name is Paul. I'm like, yep, watched it. Paul still lost. I'm like, come on, man. Yeah, I don't know.
Imagine his name is Paul. Fucking hell. Imagine even trying to take that spin on it. Right, Dave. Let's see how Dave and Paul are going to get on in this fucking fight. That's wild, mate.
Yep. they've still lost.
No, I was with you on that one, mate. I thought he won it too, and I think but at the same time, I don't think Islam took him seriously enough. You seen it in the build up. He's like, ha, little man, and all this, and didn't really fucking consider how much he used to weigh. That he's a rugby player and used to pick boys up bigger than he is. You know what I mean? And he fucking went in there, and what a show he put on, mate. It was fucking unreal.
Yeah, it's it's a bit the old little man. Everyone called like short Arsenal little man. It's like, leave it out, man. The guy's the champ. He's smashed everyone.
Little stocky man with some power in him, though, so you can keep calling him little man all you want, and he'll fucking bring you down to his level if he needs to. It's fucking unreal. So if you're asked to fight anybody lower in the rankings, would you go for that, or do you want to kind of just keep where you're at, fight people at your level, and then try and work your way back towards that title fight?
Yeah, I mean, of course, like there's options, but like, I mean, ideally someone above, and you know, first off, get back to sparring and try and build from there. But ideally, someone above. Ideally, that is always the goal, to get you back in that mix straight away. But
I mean, I'd love to see you in there against Ortega, mate. I think that'd be a phenomenal fight. Even Yair Rodriguez, I think you two would absolutely throw down. And then when you got to the point, if Volk's still at that championship level, that would be an absolute banger between the two of you, because you both throw with intent. Yeah, I mean, you're fast paced, you push it. Like, it'll be an excellent fight. Like,
yeah. Now, there's some featherweight divisions. So some fire. Obviously, Volk leading the way, and he's like the number one pound for pound. He's smashing it. His work rate is you can't not respect it. So I think that's driving the whole division along. And even going up a weight and then coming back to defend. And most people, I feel like if he won the title, I still feel like if he won the lightweight title, he would go to lightweight. But if anyone's going to try and bounce around and do both, it would probably be him.
Yeah, definitely. But I also think, you've done really well against Islam, but I think there's some people in the lightweight division that would give him a really fucking tough fight, like your Dustin Poiriers, your Justin Gaethjes, you know what I mean? Just for the difference that are going up in the weight, and just experiencing the power that those guys carry as well, you know what I mean? It'd be a completely different fight for him, so compared to at featherweight. Would you ever consider going up?
Nah, probably not.
Nah, stay where you're at.
Yeah, I don't know. I say that probably not. Last few camps, most of the guys I was training with, the last few camps were all my good training partners. Like all lightweights mainly. Like Tim Wild, Jai Herbert, Aiden Lee. Aiden Lee's fighting tonight. They're all good, strong lightweights. And like obviously hard work, the bigger boys, but it's never sort of felt.
So is Jai in Canada as well, or? Was that
no, sorry, the last few camps.
Right, okay, cool. I thought you meant like what you like training now. I was like, is he over there? Because I know obviously his fight's coming up in London in 2 weeks, so I'm going down to that. So
nice.
So a bit of a sorrier state of affairs for this card in London, isn't it? I mean, they've not really sold out that well.
Really?
There's tons and tons of seats left. I don't know what they're doing. They've ended up dropping the prices for it as well. I mean, Aspinall Tybura is going to be a banger. As far like most of the fights on that card are going to be pretty fucking decent, but it's just not getting the credit that it deserves. To be honest with you, everyone's complaining about a Molly McCann co-main as well, and it's like you were all on the hype train a year ago, and then she takes one loss, and now everyone's it's just fickle fans in it. But
that's true. No, she's a star in her own right. She's a couple of cards they had there, and even without Paddy on the card, people were there to watch her, right?
Yeah, 100%, man.
They bring it, but I don't know. I feel sometimes them cards tend to be more fun, like because of that. If there isn't that anticipation, that expectation of big card, it tends to every fight be a banger.
I mean, I don't think anything's going to top last March's card. That shit was insane. I mean, it was almost for the all British fighters. I think it was almost a full sweep of finishes. I think maybe the only one that didn't was Jack Shaw, and he almost had him. Dropped him with about 30 seconds left at the end of the round, and I thought, he's going to jump on it and get the finish here, but didn't. Obviously, still won his fight. He won his fight, but he didn't get the finish. I don't think it went to decision. I'm sure.
He rear naked choked him.
No, not in March.
Yeah.
No, I'm telling you, mate, because I had an acca on. I had an
I'm
acca on,
gonna
and
call it out.
Jack Shaw was the only one to let me down for 12 grand. Swear to God, I called every other fight. I called your submission.
Sure?
Sorry, I called your TKO. I called Tom Aspinall's submission. I called absolutely fucking everything for 12k.
Really?
Jack Shaw was the only one to let me down.
Where's
Not
Sherlock
slagging him, mate. Jack's absolutely fucking phenomenal. It's just the way it goes. You know what I mean? I'm not sitting here one of those muppets that like you owe me 12k because you let me down. You know what I mean?
Tell him. Where's Sherlock not working?
I'm sure he finished. Yeah, it was a decision, mate.
Are you sure?
I'm positive. I'm sure it was a decision. I'll go back on my betting app now and get me failed hacker up.
Wait, Sherlock ain't working. I change your app or something. I'm on this. Okay. Win, rear naked choke, 4 minutes, 27
No way.
seconds, round 2. Yeah.
You joking?
No.
Maybe I'm thinking of somebody else then that fucked me card. Somebody definitely fucked my hacker up. Somebody definitely fucked it up. It was only one fight, and then because it was so early in the night as well, I had to sit and watch the rest of them all come in.
Was it Jai's fight? They called it a draw. That was it. Jai, I think he's
No, because did he not get the KO in that?
No. He got a draw. I thought he should have won still, but he lost the point, so they called it a draw.
Oh, shit, maybe that's what it was.
Mm.
Just been proven wrong by Arnold Allen, folks. Fuck it, there we are.
I'm not punch drunk just yet.
So where are you doing your next camp then? So once you're ready, once you're healed up and you're good for it, you staying in Canada for that camp, or are you going back to the UK?
Yeah, I don't actually know, to be honest. There's a lot of pros and cons to both, but like really it kind of depends on what I'm presented with the next sort of challenge.
Yeah.
Obviously I'm very, very close to all my coaches in both teams and have a good relationship everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot more like a kind of like short, stocky strikers here, wrestlers. Grappling level's very high. But then back home I have a lot of sort of tall, like long strikers to work with. So it's
Wait up, see, like you say, depends who you're going with, I suppose, isn't it? Whoever your dance partner is to see where it would be better for training, like so.
That's the last 3 fights. It was with Dan Hooker, Calvin, and Max. It kind of worked. Yeah. It worked very well to be back in England. So it was those sort of taller, like rangier strikers.
Yeah,
that worked better. But we'll see. Obviously, the convenience of being like close to the gym and the coaching and stuff like that is good. A lot of access to great coaches as well.
Yeah,
and I want to get wrestling with my my wrestling coach. She's a silver medalist in the Olympics. Like
oh, nice.
It was Athens. Gia Sasori. He's unreal. Like unreal.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
You can really feel the difference for guys at that level, can't you? Like, as soon as they grab you, you're like, shit.
He's not big. He's like 50 odd kilos, maybe 60 now, but you can't touch him. Like he doesn't even lace his boots up. You know what I mean? He like literally has his wrestler boots unlaced. It's like, no challenge. I'll lace him up. I'm just like, yeah, fair enough. He's a different level.
What's your kind of walk around weight? Like, do you have to cut much before you walk in there, or what?
I was getting a bit heavy for a while. So I think I was touching like 190 pounds for a minute, but
Jesus Christ, man.
I was eating my feelings. I was depressed and eating, so I was depressed, eating, and I wasn't able to train properly. But
it's just the food over there as well, mate. It's just so heavy in it. You know what I mean? There's so many different varieties and ranges, and the sizes are ridiculous. It's just like, man.
Yeah. So I was in. Me and my missus drove across the US for like nearly 2 weeks. It was like a week and a half.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't eat an actual meal like once because it was like we were just in the car, drive to the hotel, see this place, drive to this place. So everything was eat out, like breakfast, lunch, dinner, 3 meals a day eating out.
Yeah,
it was just crap.
Fucking skint by the end of it. Oh, you do, don't you? Sluggish as anything.
That was it. I was just, and even there, you go to America, you go out for breakfast. It's like you want an omelette, you're trying to be clean. It's got all like that yellow cheese melted on it.
Everything going through it. It's like, mate.
Oh my god, man! I'm trying to be clean.
But give me it anyway. I'll fucking take it.
Yeah,
I don't know about you, mate, but I'm a fucking gannet. Like, honestly, I can go to town. I'm usually like the human waste disposal at the end of the table at a restaurant. Like, if anybody doesn't finish out, I'm like looking at it, going, yeah, pass that over there. I'll get that. You know what I mean? Don't worry about it.
And even then, I'll be sat and like, I'm sitting there in bed, stuffed, and I'm just like, fuck it, should we go down to Denny's and get a pancake?
Yeah, fucking bro. What's your favourite fast food thing then in Canada? What are you going for?
Favorite fast food. I don't know. Yeah, the Korean fried chicken. That's probably what I've been eating in a minute. They have a lot of good places here for that. Like, have you ever had like bao buns?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, fucking phenomenal. Those things.
Those with the fried chicken and the honey mustard sauce, and it's pretty good.
Have you had some of the sweet ones? So I went to what was it called? Cosmo or something. It was my sister's 18th.
Oh, okay, I've heard of it.
Like 14 years between us, big fucking gap. So I went back down to England the other week. It was her 18th birthday. Went to Cosmo. It was just like world food buffet type. But they say world food. Yes. It was fucking Chinese, Indian, and British pretty much. You know what I mean, and that was it really. There wasn't a world food buffet. But so they had the bao buns, but they had sweet ones. And they had like a custard in the middle, mate. Fucking hell, I must have eaten about 12 of those things, man, because they're just so light and so easy too. It was just like bang, 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 gone.
That's awesome.
But, mate, and poutine. What are you rating that? It's just chips, cheese, and gravy, innit? You know what I mean? Everyone goes mad for the poutine. I'm like, it's chips, cheese, and gravy, mate. You get it when you come out of the pub at fucking 17, 18 years old. You know what I mean?
This is what I've been saying to everyone, but they won't have it. No, they don't have it. But no, it's not.
That's a common man's food back at home, folks. I mean, everyone's putting it on this pedestal in Canada like it's the best thing since sliced bread. And you're like, it's fucking chips, cheese, and gravy, mate. Calm down. Chips and gravy. That's it, innit? You know what I mean? But I got proper fat. First, like I said, I went in 2012. I mean, my normal walk around weight was probably around about 170, 180. Yeah, I mean, I probably went up towards 200. Like on the way out, we flew out from Manchester that time, and I went into Hollister when I was in there. Got a T-shirt before we went out, and we went and visited my girlfriend's family in Winnipeg first, and then we spent a few days in Toronto when we were coming back. So on the way back, stopped off in Toronto, and I hadn't even worn this Hollister T-shirt yet, so I thought, right, fucking bang that on today, and I'll walk around in that. Pulled it out, and it fit before I fucking got out there. Pulled it out and put it on. Arms are bulging out the side, my belly's popping out of it and everything. I was like, I'm not fucking wearing this walking around all day today, looking like the fucking Michelin man. I was like, what is going on here?
I know what you're saying. The Hollister fits are a bit snug
tight,
anyway.
aren't they? Yeah. I've not bought a Hollister T-shirt since, I don't think. You know, it's been about 11 years I've been put off them, so... Speaking of T-shirts, mate, I was waiting on my fucking jumper coming. I thought I might be here before the interview. I can fire that on, you know what I mean? But looking forward to that Pacers Gym T-shirt, mate. That's a fucking fantastic design on there. So
and then the bloke did it. He's been sending me some awesome designs, like Average Joe Art. He's been sending me some really cool designs, and he sent me a couple of like he's seen pictures of my dog, and he made like an Almighty Trafford sort of thing.
Oh, mate.
I think I'll just keep that for myself, to be honest. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, phenomenal, man. I got a lot of Staffy too, and I don't know if you've seen that when I put it up on Twitter a little while ago. He's recently diagnosed with a brain tumor, mate. It's fucking heartbreaking. So we took him for an MRI and all the rest of it. He had to go for a spinal tap and everything too. So he's got tumor on his brainstem. And then the guy actually said to us 2 to 4 months, and I was like, "Fuck me, mate! Imagine giving you that news." It's horrible, mate. But he's sound in himself, and honestly, like, I think they've got it wrong. Like, I've been giving him steroids. I've also been giving him CBD drops, like, in the morning and in the afternoon as well. He's still running around wanting to play, still going for walks and all the rest of it. Mate, it's wild.
Hopefully they got it wrong. Staffies,
they're resilient,
the most resilient dogs, aren't they? They're just even mine, to the day he died. It was like my missus has like a like Apple phone. It shows you like the memories or whatever.
Yeah.
It was like a couple of days before, and he was just like the happiest dog. He was like the tail wagging. And old man. He was like 16, so he's like.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah, and but yeah, you could see even till the last day, he was loving life. So it was nice to see that. I was just like, yep, cool. Wasn't too late, sort of thing, you know.
I mean, well, 16 is a good time. That's what people said to me as well. Obviously, just as this progresses and it goes on, make sure you make the right decision for him and not yourself, because you can find some people being a bit selfish with it and trying to drag them on a little bit longer than they probably should. You know what I mean? Yeah, away from that anyway. Before I start crying on the podcast, you know what I mean. But nah, he's doing sound. He's still bouncing about. There's a puppy around the corner that he's fucking. He loves like chest to chest when he's playing. He just jumps up and goes to chest with every dog, and he's still doing that. So
they love it.
Oh,
they just do a big dog each other.
That's it. It's fucking mad. And I think so. When he was a rescue. So when we first got him, he was like 4 years old. Oh well, at least they told us he was 4. We took him to the vet and we said like, this is how old he is, but we think he might be a bit younger. Can you tell us? And the vet weighed his nuts in his hand. Just put his nuts in his hand, weighed his nuts and went, yeah, he's about 4 years old. I was like, fucking hell, how old am I? Put me a leg up and that, you know what I mean? I was like, get a gander at them, tell me how old I am. That's fucking phenomenal. Yeah, I know, yeah. But yeah, he's about 11 going on 12 now, if that was right. Yeah, I mean, so not nowhere near 6. If he can make it to 16, mate, I'll be fucking buzzing, because that's an excellent age for a Staffy as well, isn't it? Yeah, I mean,
it is.
They get a stereotype about them. I've had people pick up the kids, walk across the road from me and everything with them, but they're the softest fucking dogs going.
Yeah, I've had friends like years ago when they come over, like friends come over my house, open the door, my dog would like sprint out, jump at him, like try and lick him and fuss him, all that stuff. They'd run back to their car like
shitting themselves.
Get him in the house. I'm just like, he's trying to hump you, mate.
Yeah, just say hello and he'll fucking calm down in about 2 minutes. You know what I mean? That's it. They just love people.
Tail's going 100 miles an hour.
Did he do mouthing? Was he a mouther? Like,
oh yeah, it was all over.
Yeah, he's mad for that as well, mate. The bonkers dogs. Like, I actually don't think I'm going to get a different breed ever again. Like, I've had German Shepherds and things in the past. He's my first. I've grown up with some Staffies around me, friends and stuff, but he was my first one, and he's probably the dog that I have bonded with the most. Like, I'm honestly going to be when the time comes.
The last one. We always had Staffies. My mum went and got she got a new dog. She got a big American bully thing.
Yeah,
and he's a horse. He's the dopiest dog, and he's massive. He's got to be like, I think he's like 50 odd kilos or something.
Jesus Christ, man!
He's huge, big dopey, like Scooby Doo, like big Scooby Doo.
Yeah.
And Mum was like, yeah, he was about the same size as your dog, isn't he? I'm like,
no.
He's like half the size of him. His head's about his head's the same size.
Trafford was what, probably about 23 kilograms or something like that.
He's absolute heaviest. He was 30. I weighed him. Like,
really?
Absolute heaviest.
That was you giving him too many treats, that though, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, man, I used to take him he'd go over in the car with me. I'd go to the drive-through with him, get him like chicken nuggets,
cheeseburgers, and all sorts of shit. Yeah, bro, I'm the same.
If I'm getting cheat day, he's getting cheat day. Yeah. He'd have 20 nuggets. He'd just scoff them down.
Yeah, about 2 seconds.
He'd do the same thing.
Yeah. Fucking phenomenal, man. Nothing better.
They used to get him, they'd share a kebab when he was older. So my dad would go down the seafront, they'd sit on the sea. The dog would have a doner kebab. My dad would have a kebab.
There's nothing more British than that, is it? Yeah, I mean, that is fucking chili sauce and everything. Fuck it, a real man's dog, straight in there and on it.
He just gave him the box of meat without the bread.
Oh, that's fucking
stunner for the dog.
Nice, mate. Yeah. I bet the dude give you it for free as well. You know, that's for the dog. Have that.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Fucking class. You get that at the butchers a lot. You go in there and like, some bones for the dog or whatever. You know what I mean? It's brilliant. But right, mate, I'm aware. Oh, go on. Sorry.
Yeah, my mum got this dog, this American bully, whatever. He's sweet. He's big softy. But they got a different temperament. They're very they're just dopey. They're not like a Staffy. He's like full sort of high energy, sprinting around in your face sort of thing. You come in the house, he's just like, ooh.
Kind of like a Labrador type of thing, like. But that seems to be the new breed now, isn't it? Everyone's getting the XL bullies, and I don't know if it's going to end up being the same overbreeding. The kennels are going to start being for them. You're seeing a lot of, I mean, the news reports always highlight the negatives, don't they? I mean, there were a
lot of them are overbred, and they weren't breeding properly. But I think
that was mainly during COVID. People seeing it as a money-making scheme. Folk were getting lonely in the house and wanting dogs, and these were the new show dogs, weren't they, for your Insta photos and everything? So it was like, mate.
I didn't even know. Someone told me about people using them to launder money, right? Obviously, so they have one and a bitch, and then they say, 8 puppies, sold them $5,000 a pop. No puppies ever existed. I was like, oh, it's kind of clever, I guess.
Well, in a way, yeah. I mean, if you're that type of person, you want to go down that path. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Fucking mental, like. But yeah, not for me. Because I've had friends that have picked dogs up from mad shelters. Well, not shelters, but people that have had like a farm. You know what I mean? The dog's really been ill, cost them thousands of pounds, and then the dog's died as a
yeah,
puppy and everything. So it's fucking devastating to some people.
that's
But
horrible.
those are folk that are making money or laughing anyway, aren't they? You know what I mean, all the way
Yeah,
to the bank. So,
that was ours. They were gonna put our Staffy down when it got him, and not for being nasty. He's just like high energy, and
yeah.
I think I think it was his mum. The guy had him. They put his mum down, and then I think someone in my family heard, or my mum found out, and she was like, "Oh, we'll fucking have him. Like we'll take him."
Yeah.
And he's the sweetest dog we ever had.
Did you take him to any obedience classes or anything? Or
No, nothing. We didn't take
no?
him to. I literally we just burnt him out basically.
Yeah, that
He
was
always
it.
wanted to play. He was never. Yeah, he would like recall and everything. You call his name, he'd come, and not when he was older. You call his name, he'd sort of look over his shoulder like "fuck off."
I know, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm doing what I want to do. Go away.
Yeah, but no, I never. No, I never took him to any classes. I think maybe we're lucky. He was a good boy. But yeah, it was always between me, my brother, and my dad. We were always very active. So I'd take him for a couple miles. I'd go run. He'd come with me. My dad would come home, lift weights. The dog would go nuts in the gym. I watched him lift, and my brother would torment him, like mess with him, like with he would always rip socks up. So my brother would like drag him around, like pulling socks. So yeah, I think he just burned him out. Yeah,
that's it. Yeah, I mean, spend the time with them and get the energy out of them, and they're absolutely brilliant, brand new dogs. I mean, we got him from a charity, so he came with like 6 weeks of obedience classes, microchip, all the rest of it was all like a little combined. Best 150 quid I've ever spent in my life, mate. That's all it cost me. 150 quid, and I was like, bang, fucking best dog I've ever had. So took him to the obedience classes, started doing that well. The woman was like, all right, I actually want to put him into the advanced ones. So we put him into the advanced classes. She never charged us fuck all to do it or anything. It was like unreal. And I had him running through tunnels, jumping over fucking poles. And then I'm sitting there going, yeah, I'm not joining Crofts here, mate. I'm not wanting a fucking show dog. You know what I mean? So yeah, thanks for your time. Thanks for everything that you've shown us and that. But I just want a dog, mate. So I'm going to call it there. But do anything for cheese. That's the first thing I found out is you get little chunks of cheese or Primula cheese, mate. See if he's barking at any point, I would just slap Primula over his face. Shut up. Keep him busy, just be licking it daft, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's us. Been about an hour now, mate, and I know you're obviously shooting off today for a little bit of sun up the old country, as you said. So what's your plans then? What are you doing?
I want to go do something in the countryside. I'm gonna get ready now and have a look, but I've got a storm warning. It's been the weather's been absolute. It's been dog shit since I've been back. There's been like forest fires, so there's been like smog in the
hasn't they? Yeah. Are they quite near you, or is it just the wind bringing it over?
Yeah, so a couple of weeks ago, I was like, me and my missus were going to go down the lake, do sort of paddle about a bit. And I opened the back door, and it's all like, I was like, fucking hell, someone must be having a fire or something. And I looked on the news, it's like, smog warning.
Fuck.
So I stayed in the whole day. But the smog seems good today. It's just a bit, looks like it might rain, but whatever.
Maybe bounce out at TJ then, see what you can get done.
Yeah, that's it. Well, no, I'm dropping off in the garage on Thursday because it just needs some work. It needs a little work.
I've seen in your YouTube video, you got a bit of rust there, a bit of this there. You know what I mean? So, did you have that before you came back to England before COVID?
Yes.
Right. Okay. So you just sat for quite a while then.
It just sat there, just rotting. I'm just abusing it again. So I'm gonna give it a little bit of love.
Always been a bit of a motorhead.
Yeah. No, like living, sort of growing up in the countryside and stuff is just not really a lot to do other than ride your bikes around, sort of thrash your cars across fields and all that. So
So was that Felixstowe, is it?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. My missus is away to, I told you on Instagram, my missus is away to Disney Paris, her and my daughter and the mother-in-law as well today. So I was like, there's no way I'm sitting in a car with a mother-in-law for 12 hours. Not a chance. We'll end up arguing. It's not happening. You know what I mean? So they're driving down to, is it Felixstowe? Folkestone, sorry. Driving down to Folkestone today, staying there tonight, get on the ferry and everything. Not the ferry, the Eurotunnel tomorrow and shoot off. Like, so. But it's some drive down there, mate. Like I say, I went down to London the other week and kind of went past your way a little bit as we were going down there, and I was just like, mate, these fucking roads are mental when you get on the motorway. It's like 4 or 5 lanes, fucking average speed limits and all the rest of it everywhere. There's fucking dudes up your ass. You're like, what is going on here? Because obviously Scotland is probably very much like that. I mean, it's 2 lanes everywhere. There's not that many cars. It's a bit more country roads. You drive past 6 farms before you come to the next town. You know what I mean? So a little bit different up here.
Try and drive around Montreal. The guys here, they're insane. Like, their roads are crazy. Like, the people on the road, like, they're nuts. Yeah.
Well, I've said to the missus, the next time we go out to Winnipeg, it was probably be next year. We're definitely renting a car, because normally our family would just take us around, but we found obviously going with the daughter last year, it was a bit much for getting everybody to, you know what I mean, come and pick us up and all the gear and tram and whatever else. So I thought, you know what I mean, make
far away as well, isn't it?
Yeah, and obviously grandparents are getting a bit older and that, so I don't want them to be like feeling responsible for taking us to places and stuff. So I said, right, next time we go out, we'll rent a car ourselves, maybe even get an Airbnb or something and just go and do our own thing for a couple of days too. Like, but now I'm actually looking forward to driving over there, but at the same time, it would be my first time driving on the opposite side of the road and all the rest of it, and trying to fucking figure it out. Like, but I'm sure it'll be all right.
It is all right. I just find as long as there's cars on the road, you go with the flow of traffic, right?
Yeah, but just follow them.
Yeah, but I think the rest of Canada's all right. It's just driving around Montreal's crazy.
It's mad how big that fucking place is, isn't it? Because her cousin was just over. She'd just done a little bit of a tour of Europe and then stopped there for a few days before she went back to Canada. And she was saying that her parents, girlfriend's auntie and uncle were driving to Toronto from Winnipeg to go and see some more family. And I was like, how long does that take? She was like, non-stop. I was like, yeah. She was like, about 24 hours?
Like,
what? Like, we can drive to Barcelona in 22 from Scotland, you know what I mean? But you are just going from like one province to the next, and you're talking a full fucking day's travel, mate. Fucking unreal. But it's just straight roads everywhere, innit? Flat land and everything. Well, I don't know what it's like in Montreal. Like I say, I've never been that side. Is there more hills or anything there? Is it still quite flat?
Yeah, no. If you go like northward, it's all mountains. It's got like the Laurentians there. It's all mountain. That's where we're gonna head up probably.
Right. Okay.
And but if you go like down towards like Toronto, New York way, it's it's relatively flat, but it's New York State's pretty nice, to be honest. On the other side, as soon as you cross the border, you get out of Quebec and you get into the New York State sort of. I think it's like Vermont or something, but it's nice that side. It's all scenic and like a nice drive. Then as soon as you get across the border this side, the roads are a bit pants and it's a little bit rougher.
What's the winters like in Montreal? Are they heavy? Are they all right?
It's pretty
mad,
cold.
Isn't it? The amount of fucking... when I was over there, and like I say, we're over there in the summertime most of the time, and we're driving down the road and they're like, oh yeah, that's where they put all the snow once they've cleared the roads. And I'm like, what? And I look and there's like a fucking mountain of snow in the middle of July. And I'm like, it's fucking 33 degrees out here. What is going on? How is there a big fucking pile of snow just sitting there? What is going on here?
Like a big bit of land and they just...
Yeah, they just dump it all on it, don't they? I mean, it's fucking mental. But what you call it, Manitoba, Winnipeg's like the prairie, so it's flat as fuck, absolutely flat as anything. You can see for miles no matter where you go. Like, it's crazy. And I think they're obviously, like you say, you come down, you come into the New York side of things, but I think they're North Dakota. I think that's what they're connected to. I think it's about an hour or two drive from Winnipeg. You'd come into the North Dakota and then obviously keep going, you get to south. So that's what I'm thinking I do. They said there's not much there to go and see, but I might fucking jump in the car, drive down to the border, cross over and stay for a few hours and then come back, or maybe see if we get a hotel or something, maybe stay for a day or two and then come back up to Canada again. Like, but
yeah, that sounds quality.
Should be decent, like. But right, we'll wrap this up, mate. I'll let you crack on with your day. So I've got 3 fan questions for you, and then we'll fucking fire it off there, right? So on Twitter at Sean MMA is asking, who are your top 3 of all time?
Oh, top 3 fighters. So number 1 is always for me GSP.
Yeah.
I like Aldo. So now Aldo number 2.
And
number 3. Don't know number 3. Go with Dan Hardy because that was one of the guys.
Yeah,
he was like the first in the UK. He was like the first guy I was sort of, as a kid, I was a big super fan of him. So
have you ever met him?
I was like, like, I was a little bit starstruck the first time I met him because I used to always send him messages on Twitter and stuff like a little kid, like, can I come train at your gym? And
Did you go and train with him then? Yeah.
No, never.
Never, mate. Right, okay. Yeah. Obviously, he's doing his stuff as PFL just now, isn't he? I mean, he seems to be killing it with that. So good for him. Like, have you read his book, part lizard or whatever,
No.
part reptile. It's good, mate.
No,
Well,
no.
I got the audio book, and it's actually him reading it as well. So, but I think for like MMA or even just like, but it wasn't really MMA when we were younger, so it was more of like your individual sports, wasn't it? Because it's a lot different in the UK to what it is in Canada or America or whatever. Like, but I feel like we all kind of had a similar path. Like, I mean, I'm not anywhere near fucking professional level. You know what I mean? I done my training when I was a kid, started doing Brazilian jiu-jitsu as an adult and stuff like that, trying to just get into it a little bit more. But listening to his story, I was like, mate, I can relate to that, because I felt the same when I was going to the gym. It was similar situations and things that we went through, and living on, like, not living on the streets, but you know what I mean, growing up on the streets in the UK, like throughout the 90s and the early thousands, mate. Like, there's a lot of comparisons and like things that you can relate to within it. But if you've never listened to it, mate, give it a good go. Even if it is just get the audio book and blast it in the car or whatever, it's pretty decent. Like, so we got Hatcher812 is asking, what's your favorite fight you fought in and why?
Probably a fight with Gilbert Melendez. Just because it was like the first time I was sort of on a bigger stage. It was like an ex-champion, sort of big name, you know. And I sort of fought not to like the best of my. Well, no, yeah, I did everything as I should have done, and felt in control the whole time, and showed my full sort of skill set. You know, like boxing and kicking, and even scored some takedowns, and it was probably the most sort of complete I've fought, and the biggest step up from that point to fighting.
From one level to the next, yeah.
It
was just like the camp and everything just went smoothly. Like, it was just everything clicked and it worked.
Yeah, you know, it was the funnest camp. I had the most fun that camp. I was doing stuff every weekend, and but it wasn't. I mean, I broke my toe at the start of it. I threw a teep, like push kick.
Right.
I broke my toe on someone's elbow, so I had to kind of like adapt, and I couldn't run or anything, and I couldn't move very well in sparring, so I was kind of like back foot because it was on my lead foot. So, but yeah, I just figured it out, and I was swimming a lot, and instead of running and sparring, I had to spar a little bit different than I usually spar, which I'm usually a bit more front foot. But yeah, it was good. It was good.
So did you go into the fight with a broken toe still, or did it heal up by the time you got in there?
So it was all right by the time I got in there, especially with the adrenaline. You didn't feel it, but
you wouldn't even fucking feel shit, would you? So
yeah. But it was like 8 weeks out, so for most of the camp, it was pretty shit. Yeah.
So we have Phyllis Step 9. Who, if anyone, do you take inspiration from or model your game or style off? I mean, is there any fighter in there that you thought, yeah, I like that style and that's how I want to go after it?
Not necessarily like any individual. Just, you know, I always change who I'm like. Sometimes it's like you know, someone like Wonder Boy. I really like his style. Obviously, I'm not really a karate guy, and it's not really the way I fight. But watching like his distance management and all those things is I think he's 40 odd now, and he's still up there with the elites, and that's because he hasn't taken a crazy. I know he's been hurt in fights, but like he hasn't taken a crazy amount of damage for his career.
Yeah,
he's very good at like evading and defending all that stuff. But then I watch someone like you know, like Peter Yan. He's very aggressive, high guard, and it looks fun. So yeah, it's always changing really. I go through. I never really want to model myself on someone, but
no, obviously you want your own style and your own flow and how you want to go and stuff like. But obviously you can take inspiration from different bits and bang it into. But really, it's
probably like GSP. Really, just if you're going to take anyone, I know I don't fight nothing like GSP, but he's the most sort of complete martial artist.
Yeah,
you know? He was so good at everything that it was like he's not just like a guy. He was going to outstrike you. He would take you down, and if he took you down, he was a jiu-jitsu threat on the floor. There's a lot of guys that are like, okay, they're going to throw wild punches and they can take you down, but they don't necessarily do anything with the takedown. But George his grappling is pretty good. He's a good level, very good level black belt, and you know.
Well, he's actually just been announced for coming back for grappling as well in a few months, isn't he? So so looking forward to that one. And again, if you've not read his book too, mate, I would recommend going and doing that, because I just went on a bit of a mad one of biography style writings of people.
Is the audio book in French Canadian accent?
Yes, mate, and he's reading it too. I think at some points of it, so it's fucking incredible, to be honest with you. So it's definitely worth a listen as well, mate. But yeah, it's good. Was it him that was reading it? It might have been somebody else, but it definitely is a French Canadian accent anyway. So
The best thing, the best I have to tell you. So the best thing George ever said to me. So it was like between rounds. I was at the fountain. I just went to the water fountain, get a sip of water between the rounds. I turned around. George was there. He said, "I can't do the accent. I'm so bad." He calls me.
Go on, mate. Try it.
He said, "Harney." I was like, "Yes, sir. What's up?" He goes, "Michael." He called me a toi. What is this? I was like, "A toi." He goes, "Yes." Yeah, at the press conference, Michael, he called me a toi. And I was just like, "Oh, he's calling you a twat." He's like, "Okay, what is this?" I was like, basically calling you a vagina."
Yeah.
And his face is just like this look of disgust. He just went, walked off.
Why would he fucking call me that and walk away? Yeah, that's absolutely fantastic.
I was dying. I was just like, yeah, he just called you a twat, really.
Yeah,
mate.
just called you a twat. So it's a common fucking insult in the UK. But he's like, what the fuck's this twat? What's he had about?
I was dying.
So, has he ever spoke to you about dinosaurs? Because he's always got a mad passion for that shit. Like,
yeah, he has.
Like the old man in the pub just taught your ear off about it. Like,
he's like, you appreciate what he's done. And he's one of the best guys ever, and probably one of the big reasons I came here. And no, he is one of the big reasons I came here. But he's
not the message, mate. It's all about GSP.
Like, when he starts talking, he's like, he don't care what you say. You know, he wants to tell you about the dinosaurs. It's like, I don't care. I don't care, mate.
Does he give you any like solid career advice then?
Yeah, no, he's gives some good advice. Just the main thing he says, just to invest in yourself, invest in your training, and I think it was one of the things he said when I first came here. It was just a lot of young guys, I think, are too busy buying. They'll win their 10-10 debut, and they'll have a flash car or something. It's like, hang on a bit, but put it back into your training, and even if that's in the way of better recovery, massage, physio, whatever, an extra session with your boxing coach, all that stuff.
Yeah. No, wicked, mate, wicked. So yeah, right, we'll call it there, mate. We'll wrap this up, and thank you very much for joining me today. Give a shout out to all your socials. What I will say though, mate, is get back onto that fucking YouTube content, because I'm dying to see some more. Like, it's brilliant, and I know your missus does it all for you mainly, and she might be too busy to be sitting down and doing that for you at the moment. But mate, you need to get back into that thing, because your channel's absolutely phenomenal. But go on, tell the people where to find you.
It's just literally Arnold BFA. Everyone, Twitter, Instagram. If you want old man, you want to add me on Facebook. That's it.
Wicked, mate. And then obviously you've got a new line of merch coming out as well. You can find that in the Almighty store. So you could have told me that more T-shirts were coming before I placed that order the other day, mate, because I'd have had a look at them first. I'm gonna have to do another one. So
I didn't know, because I was speaking to him for a while, and then he was like, "Oh, can I make a design for her?" I was like, "Yeah, of course, that sounds good." And then,
go for it.
He was like, "Oh, if you want, I'll revamp the theme." I was like, awesome. He said some awesome designs.
How much does he want off the top? That's the main question, isn't it?
He's good.
Bit of fan service there. That's awesome, mate. So like I say, man, thank you very much. Cheers for jumping on. I'm just starting out in this game. I even had see when I first put up that I've got you coming on, someone was like, "Mate, you've got 69 followers on fucking YouTube. How have you got Arnold Allen?" I was like, just spoke to the dude, mate, and asked him to come on. You know what I mean? So massively appreciate it. Huge fan. You know that already. You know what I mean? And I'm looking forward to seeing the rest of your career, mate. So yeah, thank you very much, mate, and cheers.
Anytime, mate. Have a good one.